It's the new day from WWE.
Thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve.
Welcome back to Cruise Mistake Tuesday night extravaganza. Once again on Grimerica FM. Here we are live, and I'm joined by James Cruz, my man.
We're live, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we are. And I'm also joined by Mr. Jerry Cthulhu.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, always. Come on. I'm also joined by Mr. Cliff Wall, aka Felix. And I'm also joined by Mr. Watcher, aka Crypto Mystic, aka probably something else.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Oh man, hey guys, what's up? How's it going? How's things? We're coming off of a pretty good show. The downloads were abnormally higher than usual for last week, so the predictions paid off. But I haven't had any feedback. No feedback from the show or anything.
Not really.
Well, no, we've gotten feedback. No email feedback, but in Discord, people are saying they're enjoying it.
Yeah. In the chats, people are loving it, dude. So thanks to everybody for listening and some of that feedback, man. It feels good when someone says "good job." Yeah,
and it also feels good when people say "shit job." So
I know, some of that. Because that's why you got to go to Cruising Mistake Pod at Gmail. You can write a fucking shit review about us, and we'll totally read it.
Or it's probably better. It's probably better for grimsteak@gmail.com because I don't know if anybody actually checks the Cruising with Steak email.
I always give this podcast 1 star and then report it.
That's what you should.
Yep, exactly.
Any press is good press.
It's true.
I listened to your guys' show last week, this show, and I liked it a lot. And I'm like 3/4 through the interview, but it's getting me, like I said earlier, roped into
interview. Was hardly an interview.
No, it was just it was an experience. I mean, like I'm still kind of buzzing from it. It was really cool. Like
James managed to talk shit about everybody's sports teams, even if they didn't.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It's just Tim. Yeah, Tim's all he's in the Boston area, so he's a Patriots fan. I'm just like, fuck them. Everybody's sports.
Yes, you were.
Cleveland. That's the only thing that matters. Go Browns.
Go Browns. So what we got on the agenda
by the way,
tonight,
the Browns are ranked 14th in the power ranking.
Are you guys going to talk about sports? Because I'm going to leave.
No, just, when things pop up like this, I have to mention it. But I'll stop mentioning sports.
Yeah, at least until we get to the wrestling segment of the show.
Wrestling I can deal with. Or tennis.
Dude, you just had the Super Bowl like 5 miles away from your house.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course. You couldn't smell it.
Didn't they ship all the homeless people to your neighborhood instead of downtown?
I had no idea when it is. I thought it was next weekend, to be honest.
Yeah.
What?
I don't live in Atlanta. I live north of.
Right.
The outskirts.
Yeah, but don't you live in this mediascape that we all exist in?
He knows the Super Bowl was.
I exist in between the bandwidth.
What about the commercials?
Oh, the mind control.
Dude, I watched some of them. I didn't see anything I liked.
I don't have cable service or anything to watch it. I'm sure I could have found a stream source, but I'm not interested in sports. It's all, circus.
Someone I know got to talking about the commercials, and I just tuned them out as they were talking, and I was like, I don't.
So there's legitimately people out there that are enthusiastic about the commercials. These are real people.
Or are they just?
When I was growing up, I used to love the it was Bud Bowl, I think it was. It was like the Bud Light bottles would have a game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Just think about the level of intelligence that you'd have to enjoy watching or looking forward to watching Super Bowl commercials. to watching commercials.
Commercials.
That's like a retarded person.
The commercials come out. You can watch them on YouTube before it even starts.
They are commercials.
They're advertising to you.
What if you watch them in reverse?
Then you'll get programmed twice as fast, maybe.
That's so crazy. That's just like the backbone of our capitalistic society, though. It's like we glorify advertising. Please sell products to me, and I'm going to love it. I'm going to eat it up.
My ex used to tell me that I was a marketing man's wet dream.
Well, market this show, dude.
Because like when I saw stuff on TV, I was like, oh my God, I need that. I used to be that retard who looked forward to the commercials, you know?
Yeah.
I like to watch the trailers before movies.
You know, speaking of marketing, I heard today on a stock quote, Apple is like one of the highest stocks again, I guess. And
there's a lot of fuckery going on there.
Yeah, and it just sparked that thing with the whole 5G shit again with me about just selling phones, dude.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys hear that Leak Project interview with Cliff High?
No.
Was that some of the stuff you were posting lately?
Maybe.
I saw some Cliff High stuff around, but
they just posted a few days ago. They posted the second part of this interview, this quote unquote LARP that Cliff's running. But his opinion on 5G is that it's going to be made use by the overlords to track us.
Man. What the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, where's the sound?
As forlorn.
Well, I mean, the way that it sounds like it's just going to be casting a net around the globe. So pretty much anybody with a 5G receiver is going to be under that tracking system
and getting permeated by it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I wouldn't want that shit by my house. And
well, nobody's going to be able to get away from it. It's going to be around everybody's house. That's the problem.
And they know it's bad. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and they're just pushing it.
It's going to be in every fourth light pole.
Mm-hmm.
It's every 100 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to have way more of them as well.
Oh, yeah. Tons more. Yeah.
They're super high powered broadcasting, too, because the wavelength is so short, they need an immense amount of power to push that forward to the next antenna.
And do you think then that power goes to your smart? It goes to your smart fridge. It goes to your smart microwave.
To your Kundalini.
And then it's bouncing off of that shit to power the phone, and it makes that smart grid even bigger, right? So
maybe we could come up with a sigil and a mantra to channel this 5G energy into our root chakras.
Oh yeah,
or this
say that actually.
Or this could just be the beginning of the universe getting consciousness.
Oh man,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, there's
gotta start somewhere.
It's
kill off all humans and get consciousness. Maybe.
AI and consciousness merging. Yeah,
that's just making me think. So, like when you watch a movie with like a dystopian future, and you see all these things like erected, and it's like, how do they get to that point where like it's so futuristic and crazy? It's like this is how it happens. These little things.
This is how it happens.
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow roll.
Yeah,
it's a soft launch.
Yep.
You're talking about Fifth Element.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude.
So look at that in contrast to today and the future of idiocracy.
Yep. Well, we're heading there. Totally.
That's, the government shuts down, the buildings collapse. We got a garbage pile. There we go. We're there.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get VR a lot better, it's going to be pretty ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the Ready Player One future that we're going to have.
Or surrogates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but
which is ridiculous that people would think that they would have to buy a robot to move around.
Yeah.
To move your robot to an office where you get on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Could be like
Wall-E.
iRobot. Remember? Yeah, where it had like the replacement workers and shit.
Yeah. Wall-E's actually a pretty good movie. And prophetic as well, I think.
That's the future. Just fat fucks on the spaceship.
Floating around looking lost in space with Slurpees.
Not me. I've been I've been purposely standing more. There's a couple times where I'm just like laying on the couch and I go, you know what? Instead of just laying on the couch, I could just stand.
Yeah, then your feet get hurt, tired.
That's crazy.
Not really. I stand when I'm down in my office in Florida. They have standing desks. I do that down there, and I'm thinking about getting one at home too. So,
man,
that's nasty.
I made one, but I got tired of standing after a while.
Well, I was gonna make it.
Yeah, I've got one picked out that sits on your desk and raises up.
Nice. Yeah.
I want to make a bar type studio with this stool where I can almost, like instead of sitting down in your classic little cove I have here, and
I want to build an awesome workshop in my garage.
Yeah,
that should be our goal for next week. Is that we all
build a studio.
Stand. We can all stand at our next.
I used to stand when we first started, and
you did, James.
I did. Yeah, I used to stand all the time, and I did like it.
You're standing and just
we were doing like these
beers.
3-hour shows and 3 hours of D&D and standing that long, it was tired.
Mm-hmm. We could have shows like one's a standing show, and then we could have driving shows where we're all driving cars.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I thought about that whole that realm of maybe recording like little 10-minute things driving.
No, I'm talking about a whole 2-hour show that we have to be in our car driving around.
Just driving around?
Yeah. Just driving around. Get on a highway, go 10 miles away, and then drive 10 miles back.
We got to wait till 5G fully kicks in so we get good signal.
We don't want to be dropping out of service.
We could do an internet poll where after the show people say can guess, were we all standing? Were we all driving?
Driving is going to be easy.
Yeah, it'll be pretty obvious.
Doing? Yeah.
Just what were we all in the regular ones to throw them off?
You could go interactive and like post these weird like cryptic like things on Twitter as the show's going on. It'd be great. Like, what does he do? Where is that? Is that at home? No, that's a light pole. He's on the highway. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. So many ideas that will never happen.
Oh, exactly.
Since the last time I talked to you guys, I'm trying to cut back a lot on dairy, and I've been actually drinking coconut milk.
I almost bought almond milk today. I forgot to buy it. I meant to buy it because I got these like earthy protein pack things. I'm getting there, dude. I'm getting to like where
getting back to your fighting weight.
Eating. Yeah, because it's bad.
I got my maker knife set up, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet.
And this comes out like that.
Damn, man. That's crazy.
For cigars?
Watch your fingers.
No, it's a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's very nice.
If you guys anyone listening out there, you can hook me up with a badass. I like the multi-tool, but one
like a Leatherman.
Yeah. Not like one of them little Swiss Army. I mean, I'm talking multi-tool, dude. There's so many things that those things come in handy for. I used to have one. I fucking
hence the name.
Yes. Oh man, like when I'm going around doing my job and stuff, I could use like 6 things in one place at one time. And it's like, it's such a pain in the ass. I'm not going to run back down and get a flat. Oh,
there's jokes in there. There's lots of jokes in there.
Do you walk around with one of those like magnetic wristbands to put like screws on?
No, but that sounds great.
I have a magnetic dish. I have magnetic dishes in my shop for screws. And I also have it's a plate. Fuck this camera thing. I have it's a right angle plate that's magnetic that you can set up against, say, the back of a laptop. And as you take screws out, you can match up the position, where the screw was because it's magnetic.
I like it.
It's like an 8x12 thing, and you could stick the screws to it in the same position. You can make it the same position where you took them out of the device.
I like that, man. That would have come in handy. I've taken apart my iPhone like 3 times, and there's these screws in it, dude. Oh my god, they're so small. They're hairline, and there's also different sizes of how small they are. It's so crazy. And if you screw them up, things won't go back together. I mean, I'm probably missing 3 or 4 screws in that bitch.
Jesus.
And it's still running good, dude. I don't know what I did, but it's still running. So
Screws aren't really important to the operation.
nah, man, it's all about just making sure those clips are hooked in and stuff. And
Yeah, so this thing's called a WoW pad.
a wow pad.
Yeah.
I like it, man. That's a
it's
cool
called-
idea.
For
You
screw
get
alignment.
an idea what it's like. See, this is it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it looks like a laptop opened up and it has it's magnetic bottom and magnetic top,
that's
and
cool.
you just put the bolts where you took something out of.
It's
Yeah.
a remembrance map.
Yeah.
So here's the best part.
Use that for battleship.
It's only $4.
Oh,
$4. That's the best part.
Wow. Give me that.
I'll put this in chat for everybody.
Can't find a lot of stuff for $4.
Banggood.com.
Banggood's awesome. This place is great.
Banggood.
Yeah, I bought a ton of shit off the site.
Very neat. Yeah. Dude, I had a heat wave, man. It was like 64 yesterday. Yesterday. It was Monday. Yeah. But today was in the third. I think it was 38 today, the most. But God, we had so much snow, and now it's all fucking gone, man.
Yeah, dude, it's all nasty outside.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an ice storm tonight. Fucking sucks.
Oh Jesus.
yeah,
Hear
dude.
about that dude that just dressed up as Mr. Freeze and went in.
What?
Yeah.
He dressed up as Mr. Freeze and went to the Walmart parking lot, yelling at people, but using ice puns.
Cold puns, yeah.
Yeah, cold puns.
Cold
I think
puns.
he told a woman to cool it on the makeup.
Cool it on the makeup. You have to say it like Arnold.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah, it's pretty hilarious. He got arrested and then they let him go because they.
I heard I read something that it was debunked, but
Oh, really?
But Chris Knowles retweeted my thing, so I didn't want to like ruin the joy there.
They put him on ice.
Actually, someone, I don't know if it was Chanter or a cult fan, one of those two, and I were having a bit of a pun battle in the response thread of that
Nice.
tweet when I tweeted that last week.
Jesus.
I don't think this is my orders. You like my picture? Yeah, this is it. So I bought like carbide cutters.
Oh, this is like where you get all your woodworking stuff?
Yeah, this was my last order. All this shit.
Wow.
Nice.
And I bought this. So yeah, no, they have good things. The carbide stuff's great. The diamond plate, the cheap shit that's not precision. Although I did buy 2 precision squares, and they're really good, and they're square.
All right, projects around the house. What was the last thing you made, Jer?
To completion.
Or what are you working on? Yeah, or just
I'm working on a box right now.
a box, like a small box,
A
big
small lidded box made out of some wood that I cannot identify. I think it's cherry.
Teak.
box?
Could be
Watcher,
too.
what are you working on? What are you doing?
I've got a few things on the go.
Nice.
Right now, I just started a new project, which is like a sound bathing device. So, well, basically it's 16 channels of sound, but I put exciters onto balsa wood. So your speaker is like a big piece of balsa wood and you get the low range really well. And then I've got polystyrene for the higher range sounds, but
Wow.
you have 16 of them that go around you. I haven't tested it yet, so it's gonna take a bit, but you'll sit on a box that'll be the sub box, and then you can bring people through like a sound journey.
Wow, that sounds pretty
That's
awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm working with a couple of buddies of mine that are sound engineers, so
You gonna
So,
charge
how
people to use it?
big is this contraption?
it'll
I
be
should say.
portable, so you could because you hang the speakers.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they're all just pieces of wood. So yeah, there's 4 layers, 4 speakers on each layer, and then you just hang them around. So
That's
I'm making
crazy.
a metal frame that you can hang them on. That you
Like a
can
halo
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
and then
Full
a knife.
sound immersion.
Still working on a knife. Actually for Grim.
Woo! Thank you.
Oh, I did see a rough pic. Or yeah, I want a pic of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got it hammered out. I haven't been able to work on it much because we've been crazy busy at work. But
Stop
Yeah, like-
the hammering.
You gotta like drip like dragon's blood on it.
Dude, dragon's
yeah,
blood, it's hard to
I'll
come. Really hard to come by these days. Dragon's blood. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Thank you.
It's pretty difficult. Oh yeah. No worries.
I'm interested about this.
Dragon's blood incense.
No.
Nag champa. You just wave it over some nag champa.
I have a fuckload of dragon's blood incense right now, like 600 sticks.
Oh man, just start
Anyone
burning them,
any?
Jer. Just start
Huh?
lighting them. Just start lighting them up.
I'm a frankincense guy, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, the next episode we could all just like light up some nag champa incense and just
Nag champa.
No way, then we'll be, you know, the Naga slaves.
And then you could title the episode Nag Champa.
Jesus.
Nog chop.
Yes, we could. This is all hypothetical things that could happen.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect
Guys,
world.
happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the hog now.
Hey. Ooh,
Yes, exactly.
that's all.
Year of the hog.
That was Happy New Year in Chinese hog talk.
Okay.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. Let's look it up. What year of the hog means. This is
Year of the hog. Yeah, interesting.
Who knows? I don't know much about the Chinese zodiac. Year of the pig.
Speaking of projects, I'm still, I don't know, I probably told you guys I'm doing like a toy box for my son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to paint it, clear coat it. I'm going back and forth between just spraying it with spray clear coat or doing it with a brush. But just temperatures haven't been conducive to either, or at least to the spraying.
Did you seal it? Like,
I did. Yeah, I did like a little bit of conditioning with like
yeah, there's like a
sealer
primer sealer. Yeah, like yeah.
stuff. And then stain, and then
Okay.
and then I'm gonna do some clear coat just to make it last.
Very nice.
And then I did a little label with like a little bicycle on it and wrote some stuff, like a little sentimental message to my son.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna,
Aw.
yeah, make it last. It's
Did
just a
you
big
write-
toy
Did you
toy
put
box.
like Papa Wheelie on it or something?
Something about just love, kind of
Yeah.
wishy kind of stuff. Always love, yeah. And then it's gonna go under it can go under the couch, so it's like real like not too high, but a really big, wide. When you can slide toys under the couch.
You're done.
So apparently,
nice.
people who are born in the year of the pig, they have a beautiful personality and they're blessed with good fortune in life. And recent years of the pig: 1935, 47, 59, 71, 83, 95, 2007, 2019. Yeah, pretty interesting.
Year of the pig.
Year of the pig. We got no pig years in here. I think I'm year of the ox. I'm pretty sure. 85.
Don't we have a lot of similarities to pigs?
Oh,
Like
dude.
our pancreases are.
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
are
is
the same stuff as their hooves.
yeah. What's the whole reasoning behind why Hebrews can't, why the Jews or they can't eat pork? What's up with that? Does that have something to do with?
It's unclean.
Okay, so I didn't know if it had any. Yeah, if it was with. Because if you don't cook pork right, you're gonna get sick as fuck. So it could probably
Right. There are many traditional tribal or religious values that are for health reasons. I don't know if pork is strictly health though.
Yeah.
Like seafood, I don't know why they would be against that. But I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not a Jew.
I think we probably were ancestors of pigs at some point. They're very similar. A little too similar.
Allegedly, we were cloned. One of the stories out there is that we were made from apes and pigs, like the unholy union genetically of those two species.
I could see that.
Like
Maybe
the Anunnaki made us that way.
a little bit of dolphin mixed in there, maybe.
Just the dolphins are something else.
They're their
But the
own
dolphin consciousness are what the autistic kids are connected to, according to these quote unquote sources.
You John C. Lilly talk to dolphins when he put himself in the those isolation chambers and then did tons of acid.
Didn't he make love with the dolphins too?
How do you verify that?
How do you verify that? Dude comes out.
He already made talk too fast for him to understand. So,
Oh, of course.
yeah.
I couldn't even get his name, so there's no way to find out who it was.
Oh man.
Didn't even give me a reach around. What, Cliff?
Yes.
I was just saying that I heard there was some like sexual stuff going on with
With dolphins?
There was
It's possible.
AIDS.
There's a guy that wrote that book. It's like a giant
Man,
love
did you ever slide your hard cock along the dolphin's back? It's so slick and slippery.
Oh man, I can only
You
imagine.
better cut it out right now or I'll pound you.
Yep, filthy animal.
Yeah, but Watcher, wasn't there some of his like AIDS or something we're doing?
What?
Yeah.
Sexual things with the
there was-
dolphins?
There was one of his aides. I'm not sure if it was his aide, but there was this woman who was testing on dolphins to find out if they would do tasks for her, right? And I guess beating him off helped that. giving him a reward, the dolphin. So I think she was doing it scientifically, though.
Hmm.
Well,
It was Margaret Howe Lovett and her sexual encounters with dolphins.
Did she love it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she did. Well, it's you got like John McAfee and his whale sex tweets is going on about that. It's all consensual though.
Oh, man. That dude is so wild. I just heard him recently on an interview on something.
Dude, he's on the lam right now. He's running.
Oh yeah, he's on a boat, right?
He's running from the IRS because he hasn't paid taxes in forever.
Taxes.
No.
It reminds me of
What about Randy Quaid?
What about
Is
Randy?
he like
Quaid?
that too? Does he do that too? Like,
I don't know. He's crazy
L.
and
Ron
he had
Hubbard.
to leave the country.
yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard. I don't know what his deal was.
he was Church of Scientology.
No, I mean, I know what his deal was.
He had taxes too. I think he was evading.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, they all hate taxes. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's how they got Al Capone.
Mhm.
And I heard he had bad breath.
L. Ron
Yeah,
Hubbard?
I heard of it.
Probably.
Yeah, bad
He
breath.
looks like he had bad breath. He's just one of those. He looks creepy. Like, I don't know. I'm surprised he ever got married.
Yeah, dude, he stole wives. Gotta follow him.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I did see a commercial for the Super Bowl for a Colgate ad with Luke Wilson in it, where he goes up right to people's faces. It was a bad breath type deal, like a Colgate toothpaste or whatever. Sponsor. This show is brought to you by Colgate. And and so he as people are walking through an office, he just gets up like a foot in front of them, and he's like walking backwards in front of, just an inch away from people's faces and elevators and everything, and they just all give him stink eyes the whole time. It's pretty funny. Just soaking the knowledge in of the shitty sponge in my head, and it's the ether. That's perfect. It's the ether. Yeah. It
I
is
got-
ether.
I have a list of some superstitions here. If you guys want to hear some superstition,
Yeah.
Superstition.
With or without scientific names.
no scientific names.
Bogus.
Sorry.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
No,
What you
I
got,
said
dude?
bogus. Bogus.
I know.
It's bogus.
Double bogus.
It's Bogart. Do it to it,
Groaning.
Papa.
Groaning cheese for a newborn. This type of cheese is called a groaning cheese. You've probably heard of Swiss cheese, cheddar cheese, or pepper jack cheese, but have you heard of groaning cheese? Have you?
Never.
Never heard of it.
Well, now you're about to hear. In medieval England, expectant mothers made what they called a groaning cheese, which was a large wheel of cheese that matured for 9 months as the unborn baby grew. When the groaning time, or the time of birth, came, the whole family would celebrate by eating this cheese until nothing but the outer rind was left. The newborn would then be passed through the rind on christening day to be blessed with a long and prosperous life. What a cheesy superstition.
So they they send a kid through like a giant donut ring, basically.
It's like a Mobius strip.
It's so weird.
It's like an anus.
Yeah.
It's symbolic.
Uh-huh.
You guys all know horseshoes, but I never heard this. But some people believe hanging a horseshoe in the bedroom or on a doorknob with its ends pointing upward will
Yes.
bring good luck and keep nightmares away.
And above a door too.
It's above a door, right? Yeah, I've seen that.
Above a door, below a door, side
As
of the door.
above, so below.
There's something about the shape of a horseshoe that resonates at a certain frequency.
There's that, and this belief comes from the fact that a horseshoe has 7 holes, which is considered to be a lucky number.
Watcher, you ever make a horseshoe?
I know a girl with 7 holes.
No.
Also, wait, on another thing. Also, the fact that it is made of iron can supposedly ward off evil spirits. that
It
may
does.
haunt you.
The jinn can't stand iron shit.
Same with copper. They get trapped by copper.
The gin?
Mm-hmm.
They're repelled by iron, trapped by copper.
Oh, is it? What's the
Maybe
one
that's how
alcohol drink where they give you a copper cup? Is that gin?
it's
Moscow
a
Mule.
Moscow Mule. I actually have 4 of those cups. Those hand hammered copper cups are cool.
So you can trap the spirits as in the alcohol spirits.
And get
Don't they-
electrocuted more faster.
Yeah.
Don't they prepare
Interesting.
that drink because they prepare that drink in the copper cup because the copper has certain properties that like
That's
Copper
what
does have certain
I'm thinking,
properties.
or maybe originally or something.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get copper particles in your beverage if you drink out of one,
and it
which is a good thing, if you ask me.
takes away your like arthritis.
Copper in your system
Turns your
is a
skin
good
blue.
thing, right? Yeah, like I think I
better
mean,
than
not maybe
lead.
too
You
much.
turn into Kali.
So is the gold flakes from Goldenschlager.
Yeah.
Dude, remember that stuff? Oh my
That
I never had
ionized
that.
god.
monatomic silver. Have you seen people that drink too much of that?
Yeah,
Their
what's up with
skin
that?
turns blue. They look
Ah.
like Smurfs. Mhm.
Blue
Blue Maker?
aliens.
It's pretty funny. I'll
Yeah, I
post.
never understood why people would do that. I just
Adam Oil does it
Yeah, that's nuts. Why would you ingest heavy metals?
because they believe it makes them, better,
Yeah.
which is
each their
cool.
own.
That's his choice.
Yes. I mean,
And it may. We don't know. I think it's
It's the country.
Well,
I think there's generalities in nutrition, and then there's people who aren't general.
Mm,
Okay, here's the next superstition.
yeah.
If your favorite stone is opal, you're out of luck. Literally, since
October.
that stone, that's October birthstone. Is that what it is?
Yes,
literally
ma'am.
literally since this stone is said to bring bad luck to whoever wears it. This superstition comes from the 1829 best-selling novel Anne of Geierstein by Sir Walter Scott. In the novel, Lady Hermione, or Hermione, I don't know how to pronounce that, was falsely accused of being a demon due to her sudden death after a drop of holy water accidentally falls on her opal jewelry and it changes color. This book had such an effect on the image of the opal that shortly after its publication, the opal market crashed and opal prices dropped 50%.
Oh man, a hit piece.
Do you know where most opals come from?
No.
Africa?
Australia.
Hmm.
There's this place in Australia called Petey's Cove where there are empty or abandoned or whatever finished opal mines that you can buy. They're all underground and they make them into these really cool houses.
Yeah, there's I think they put a ban on mining for a little while, mining opals. So a lot of these people had to make homes so that their mining was allowed, and then they could
Wow.
mine the opal.
Plus, it's kind of hard to secure a really good vein, but that's basically a hole in the ground. So if you could live there and work there,
Mhm.
so it's also a benefit.
The opal mines.
You probably heard in Russia it says here people believe that when a bird poops on your car or poops on any of your property, it's a sign of good luck.
Oh really?
And the more poop that you get, the more richer, luckier you'll be.
Man, just park under trees. You're good to go.
Purposely get poop.
Yeah, be at the purpose.
Pooped on. This next one's kind of interesting. It's called the Unlucky Smoking Triad. From the Crimean War through World War I, it was considered bad luck among soldiers to light 3 cigarettes with 1 match. It was theorized that by the time the 3rd cigarette was lit, a sniper would have had the time to have the soldier in his sight, ready to make the kill. However, some people believe that the superstition may have been invented by the match tycoon Ivar Kruger to drum up more business.
Oh, what a scumbag.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
Weird. Yeah.
maybe.
Snapper
But-
gonna get you.
But you're only using one match for 3 cigarettes. I mean, if he really wanted that, he would have wanted to sell more matches, so he would have said use one match for each cigarette. Use more matches.
That's a lame superstition.
That's the motivation, is that don't do it with one match, do it with 3 matches, because if you do it with one, then you get shot.
Gotcha.
So light them all simultaneously.
Okay,
With
I'm
3
with
matches.
you. I'm with you now.
This next one's about crows, counting crows. And this person makes a little joke here in the article. No, I'm not referring to the 90s band.
Aw.
It's believed that the amount of crows in a murder has the ability to predict your fortune, as exemplified by the popular phrase, 1's bad, 2's luck, 3's health, 4's wealth, 5's sickness, 6 is death. More than 6, however, seems to be up to the person who's counting.
I've bagged at least like 50 crows in Red Dead 2.
I thought you were going to talk about real life with a BB gun.
Yeah, just shooting crows.
I saw a
It's a
bunch of
22
crows
shotgun.
around my front lawn today. I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just walked up to the front door for no reason, and I looked out. Oh, I was waiting for a package, and there were 2 crows on my lawn, and there were 3 up in the houses watching those 2. So I let my cat go after him. But it
Nice.
was just creepy. Like, what the fuck?
Was it like a showdown? Crow showdown?
No, it felt
Crow
more. It felt,
Crow down?
it felt more encroaching.
Oh,
Then-
man.
Yeah, it was
Crow
creepy.
down.
And the other weird thing lately is I've been noticing lots of birds in the sky, big birds, lots of hawks, falcons, turkey vultures, big, for here.
Whoa.
And yeah, it's just weird. I haven't seen that many up there. And there were 2 hawks that were flying in a circle, like over the house, couple houses over.
Maybe they're migrating away from the 5G cities.
I don't know. All these the big birds are flying in circles, and they'll move on. They'll start flying in a circle. It's like they're marking spots, and then they move and mark another spot. It's kind of weird.
Maybe there's some dead animals out there. It's crows, or they like to circle their dead before they swoop down. But if they're not even swooping down, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're not swooping down. They're just moving around.
Maybe it's the opposite of that Bird Box movie.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't seen that. And also, you just reminded me again. I saw what I would consider UFO today. I was watching these 2. I think they were hawks. I think there were 2 hawks flying off. And one flew over across the street. And as I'm watching it fly away from me, I saw a black dot come out of the cloud behind it and went in a straight line. And I ran in the house and I got my camera. And as I was hooking it up, I lost it. And that black dot had gone into another cloud.
Oh, weird.
That's cool.
It could have been a bird, but as I saw it right next to a bird, it was a dot versus a bird. I could see the difference.
Huh.
That's interesting.
It could have been a plane really far away. I don't know.
It was a UFO.
I'm not surprised by anything
You weren't able to identify it. So it's a UFO in technical terms. Yeah.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yeah.
Phenomena.
I'm thinking back to you guys. I'm thinking back to your last episode of Cruise Mistake, and I think Watcher pronounced supposedly.
Oh, yeah.
That's my trigger. Don't do it.
I do appreciate
freaked on him.
No, I'm like, no. You got it's supposedly.
But my freak was a joke because that was a joke to say. Never mind.
It's like 3 layers of a joke.
It's been an ongoing.
I was doing the dishes and I was laughing pretty loud about that. Because it's so subtle. The B and the D is so subtle. Like even if he would have said it with a D, if he would have said it with a D, it could sound like a B.
Sure.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
I don't know.
Is a word.
Supposedly.
What does it mean?
Supposedly.
Supposedly is a word?
Yeah, it is a word.
Supposedly.
No, isn't that like a Furby? One of the name of one of the Furbies?
It is not a word.
Two words. Yeah, I bet.
Supposedly.
Look it up. Google it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll Google it.
No, the
I
only
think
thing
that's a name. That's a name
No,
for one of
man.
the Care Bears.
the only thing you
Supposedly.
find supposedly on is Urban Dictionary. It's
Nice.
not real.
No, just wait.
Just wait. I
Just
got a
wait.
Webster's edition here from Timeline XYZ 37.
All right, motherfuckers.
It's Wedsters, not Websters.
You know his mustache is like a dimension
Webster's?
portal. It's like Rick's portal gun is Watcher's mustache. He twists the curls tighter and he goes forward in the future. And if he loosens the curls, he goes back in the future.
Hope so.
I think that's how it works. So when we steal it, we'll know how to work it.
Just watch carefully. You'll find out.
Supposedly.
trying.
Promoting ice right now.
Let's look. Let's
Oh,
see.
is that?
Has it got like
Yeah,
a flux
it's-
capator in that
Yeah.
mustache?
It's an organic flux capacitor.
The definition for supposedly on Urban Dictionary: ignorant person's incorrect pronunciation of the word supposedly.
Correct. And you know who I've heard most recently say it repeatedly over and over again?
It means
Jordan Maxwell.
Who's Jordan Maxwell?
He's a conspiracy dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Into language and gematria, talks about how.
So of course he would say supposedly.
No, it's see this. If you want to look for a glitch in the matrix, there's one right there.
Yeah.
This guy who's supposedly this expert on language and how it's evolved and how it's been weaponized and used against us for years by the Catholic Church, by the Vatican, among other people. To say supposedly is kind of discrediting and ironic too.
Yes, it is.
it says that it means conceivably on dictionary.com.
Oh,
Supposedly.
it's like I used to work
It's a
with a girl
different-
who'd say instead of pizza, she'd say pizza.
So that is the word suppose and then ably, right? ABLOY.
Supposedly.
It's
Yeah,
two
that's right.
versus supposed.
Yeah, it's
Supposed.
It's two different connotations.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's what's happening. Yeah.
No, it's
I mean,
laziness. that's
obviously.
all.
I mean, I'm just bad at it.
I just picked it up from my mom. I think. She
Yeah.
mixes up words all the time, and it's insane. And there's too
Your
many.
mom or your mom?
My mom or
Yeah.
mom?
Mom.
My mom.
Your mom is your real mom, and your mom is the stepmom that has sex with you, right? It's the difference. Someone told me once.
That's absolutely true.
I have a time with the EAs and the A's.
And mom is ma'am also, right?
No,
Yeah, I thought that was because like you watched all like James Bond, like
it's
Like-
just the pronunciation of it.
I know. Well,
That's a nice goat, money
yes,
penny.
mom. Yes, mom. Yeah, like I don't know. I hear that a lot in those films.
Oh, that was for Amanda. She missed my Sean Connery.
Apparently, supposedly can be found back as it was used a lot before the 17th century, supposedly. And then, it kind of just disappeared from the lexicon after that. Weird.
supposedly.
But anyway,
Oh, back to my superstitions here. Itchy palms. There seems to be a lot of variations on this superstition, but the idea of having an itchy palm generally refers to someone who is greedy or has an insatiable desire for money. Some people believe that if the right palm itches, you will lose money, while an itchy left palm means that money is coming your way. If
Ooh.
both palms itch,
You're fucked.
you may want you got to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
What if they're hairy?
Oh, hairy palms? No thanks.
You know what that means. Don't pretend like you don't.
Oh, man. So what else we got, guys?
Knocking on wood. You guys know about knocking on wood? This might be the last one.
Superstition, knock wood. Touch
that
wood, they say in England. Charlie.
What's it all about?
It discharges your evil, your negative energy when you touch wood. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Well, it says here that's possibly. Is it yeah,
Possibly?
Possibly.
Positively.
It's possibly.
It's possible the expression comes from an ancient belief that good spirits lived in trees. So by knocking on something wooden, a person was calling on the spirits of protection. Another reason why we should all be tree huggers.
Huh.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, there you have it. That's about it.
That's about it. Some good superstitions there.
My jam for tonight, I practice is one of my own jams, and it's called As Fate Would Have It.
Nice. A Felix original.
Original.
Sweet. You had you were talking about something earlier, Felix, about you're reading this propaganda article about the negative effects of marijuana or something.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about that?
That was getting me a little upset.
Well, I actually got there's this online college, or it might be a real physical college called Hillsdale College. You guys ever hear of it?
Nope.
I think it's like a conservative kind of movement, and
I've heard of Hillsdale. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, I heard that they gave out free pocket constitutions, so I sent off for it, and every once in a while they'll send like little articles.
No way.
About big topics and concepts. And this one, the title of it is Marijuana, Mental Illness, and Violence. And kind of how they're related. There's some factoids in here.
I don't believe them.
But like you're thinking it's kind of reefer madness.
Yeah. It's fear porn.
So this guy's name's Alex Berenson, graduate of Yale University. He's got degrees in history and economics, and I think he started thinking about this topic because his wife, I think, worked at a kind of like a psych ward kind of place, not a dispensary.
No,
and she just, matter of factly was saying, all these people that are there, a lot of them that have schizophrenia and things like that. She's like, and of course, they have all smoked marijuana. And she's saying that there's just a strong tie between people who smoke pot and schizophrenia and just kind of any other mental illness, that there's a big correlation there. So that sent him on a kind of a, little rabbit hole where he started just looking into studies about correlations between marijuana usage and mental illness and violence, and how they all kind of are tied together. So he's got some studies here. So he starts off citing that cannabis doesn't have as many health benefits as those who advocate for it. So, a lot of people say it's like a painkiller, but he's saying that there's just other things that will take pain away better. And that there was actually a long 4-year study this past July that they did, where patients with chronic pain in Australia showed cannabis use was associated with greater pain over time. What do you guys think of that?
Greater pain.
Nah.
Just and
I mean, I'll have my view on it later when you're done.
Okay, there's a lot here. He comes at it from a couple different angles, but he starts then talking about the kind of the rise in marijuana usage and how the marijuana these days is a lot more potent, that kind of thing. So it says here about 15% of Americans use cannabis at least once in 2017, up from 10% in 2006. According to a large federal study called the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. And he compared that to people drinking too. He says, and by contrast, about 65% of Americans had a drink in the last year.
Wow. Yeah.
So I took a little bit of notes here. So then he just kind of puts into context that more people are using it. And then he starts getting into studies of people who have psychosis kind of things. And again, he just says here, talking about potency, says here in the 1970s, the last time this many Americans used cannabis, most marijuana contained less than 2% THC. today marijuana routinely contains 20 to 25% THC. And that's because of just, you guys know, just sophisticated farming, it says here. And
Yeah, it's
cloning
just grown
techniques.
right.
And people are demanding it, right? People want potent. You guys want the potent stuff out there, right? Are you looking for the schwiggity swag?
No.
No, it's I don't know.
I've got a lot of issues with this guy.
Continue.
Oh, yeah, there's more. So the technical medical term for people who kind of overuse pot is called diagnosable cannabis use disorder.
Okay.
It says that people that have this in 2014, 1.5% of Americans have this diagnosable cannabis use disorder. But they accounted for 11% of all psychosis cases in emergency rooms. So 11% of the people that went into hospitals and things like that for psychosis were using marijuana, maybe self-medicating, or he thinks that the marijuana is what brought them to psychosis.
11%?
11% of all the psychosis cases in emergency rooms.
How many cases is that?
Says here 90,000 cases. That's 250 a day.
Holy shit.
Triple the number in 2006.
So out of 90,000, what's 11%?
Under 9,000 or a little over 9,000.
11% is 900. 90,000 would be 9,000.
Yeah.
90. It would be 9,900.
9,900.
It was 11%.
You got it. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
So there's other stuff. There's some other stuff. This is where he starts getting into the violence and psychosis studies and marijuana and how they're correlated. So he says here in Finland and Denmark. Well, one of the things he says actually is that in the U.S. they don't keep track of these kind of statistics of like pot usage and mental illness. But in Finland and Denmark, he says, two countries that track mental illness more comprehensively, there's a research that shows a significant increase in psychosis since 2000. This is where it's like, okay, he points out that, yeah, psychosis cases have gone up since 2000. And there was an increase in cannabis use. So he's saying that there could be a correlation here, but he knows that, yeah, psychosis is going up since 2000 and also cannabis use has gone up as well. Are they related?
I don't know. I think we have a case of correlation doesn't always equal causation here.
Okay.
Wait, what are they saying there's correlation to?
Cannabis
he's saying in
use
Finland and
psychosis.
Denmark that the increase in psychosis since 2000 has gone up.
Yeah, I've been hearing this too, that they're now saying that heavy marijuana use can cause schizophrenia.
That's what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. So I think it's, bullshit science.
What's the agenda being
But they're
pushed?
talking about people who smoke like an ounce a week.
That's insane.
I know. So yeah, it's like when the scientists tested the vape pens, they turned them up on full blast and let them run when the juice ran out for an hour. That produced formaldehyde. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Which is exactly how I use my vape.
You know what I mean? It's they have an idea, they set out to prove it, and they can write a paper about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So then he got into talking about schizophrenia and how a lot of schizophrenics are known to be violent. So it says here, people with schizophrenia are 5 times as likely to commit violent crimes as healthy people, and almost 20 times as likely to commit homicide.
Oh man.
So people with the disorder commit a fraction of all murders in the range 6 to 9%. So then here I kind of highlighted this part here. It says here the marijuana psychosis violence connection is even stronger than those figures suggest. And some guy named Dr. Faisal told this guy, you don't just have an increased risk of one thing. These things occur in clusters. It says here, along with alcohol, the drug that psychotic patients use more than any other is cannabis. A 2010 review of earlier studies in schizophrenia bulletin found that 27% of people with schizophrenia had been diagnosed with cannabis use disorder in their lives. So, big chunk of people who have schizophrenia have claimed to be smoking a lot of pot. A Swiss study of 265 psychotic patients published in Frontiers of Forensic Psychiatry last June found that over a 3-year period, young men with psychosis who used cannabis had a 50% chance of becoming violent. That risk was 4 times higher than for those with psychosis who didn't use, even after adjusting for factors such as alcohol use. Other researchers have produced similar findings. A 2013 paper in an Italian psychiatric journal examined almost 1,600 psychiatric patients in southern Italy and found that cannabis use was associated with a 10-fold increase in violence.
So
those are the people.
Psychosis, are they talking about just seeing things as unreal, like reality being not quite real? Is that their definition of psychosis?
I think it's just any sort of mental illness. So if they have the mental illness, it looks like if they have the mental illness and they smoke pot, they're known to be more violent. So it's like a perfect storm of.
So wait a minute, drugs enhance their natural inclinations.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's a couple more points here I want to point out. There's a couple of quotable things I wanted you guys to hear, see what you think. The most obvious way that cannabis fuels violence in psychotic people is through its tendency to cause paranoia. So that's the big thing, is that when people get paranoid, they get on the defense. Right?
Paranoia will destroy you.
Yes.
Paranoia will destroy you. And he just mentions that how a lot of dispensaries they know that pot can make you paranoid, so they try to sell certain strains that give you less paranoia.
I never understood that.
Sativas will.
Old pot gets me high the same way.
Paranoid. But smoke enough and then the paranoia stops.
Just smoke till you're not paranoid anymore.
You made the threshold?
Yeah, you hit that threshold.
It's like, well, you got to smoke enough not to fall asleep. And by enough, meaning enough times, not
exactly
enough in one sitting.
All right, I got a couple little more notes here. 2007 paper in the Medical Journal of Australia on 88 defendants who had committed homicide during psychotic episodes found that most believed they were in danger from the victim, and almost 2/3 reported misusing cannabis more than alcohol and amphetamines combined. Got to watch out for those Australians. Mm-hmm. So again, the people who committed murders, those 88 defendants, 2/3 of them were misusing cannabis, and that was more than people who were drinking and doing amphetamines.
Yeah. All I can say is I know a ton of people that smoke weed, and none of them are violent.
Yeah, none at all.
Psychosis. And so it's hard for me to believe that absolutely, but it
takes a certain type of person, as I think is what it's getting
right. How many homicidal maniacs do you know, Watcher? You know, that's the kind of person they're talking about. I want to know how many they have in Sweden.
That's the thing. If your entire control group is people who already have psychosis, you're gonna find some of them who have smoked weed. That's like it just seems like if you surround yourself with shit, all you're gonna find is shit. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it feels like.
Hey, wait! Don't make fun of Cruising Mistakes podcast.
No. I don't know, man.
Okay, here I like some of these things that when they started kind of comparing alcohol to marijuana, because like I feel alcohol makes you real mean, but they don't seem to find that in this article. Yet the link between marijuana and violence doesn't appear limited to the people with pre-existing psychosis. So not only is it people with psychosis, but it says here, researchers have studied alcohol and violence for generations, proving that alcohol is a risk factor for domestic abuse, assault, and even murder. Then he just goes on to say that, people haven't noticed this, that marijuana also is a risk factor for violence, that kind of thing. And he says there's dozens of studies exist covering everything from bullying by high school students to fighting among vacationers in Spain. So it sounds like people in Spain are vacationing and smoking pot and getting in fights.
They're eating too many tapas.
It doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, that one I'm like, okay.
The pain in Spain. That
rhymes.
In most cases, studies find that the risk is at least significant as with alcohol. So just as significant. A 2012 paper in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence examined a federal survey of more than 9,000 adolescents and found that marijuana use was associated with a doubling of domestic violence. A 2017 paper. Yeah, go ahead.
This is greasing the wheel for making pot as bad as alcohol in the eyes of the law. I think. Because I think they're gearing up for legalization nationwide, and they're getting the studies out now to go back to.
I think his biggest motivation, like right when I get to the end here, like I think his motivation and his like plan of action is that the people who do sell this pot, they need to warn people that you can make you psychotic, just like cigarettes. How you're
the warning labels.
How about they put the warning labels on it? And I think that's that's like his plan of action is like, okay,
or
you know that you got to know about it.
If it's legalized nationwide, it's going to be controlled somehow. So you'll have to have either national ID to buy it or something. I don't know how it's going to go down, right? But I guarantee you that people who are mentally ill won't be able to buy weed legally.
Oh yeah, yep.
So I mean, yeah, it could be that too. I don't know. Okay. It's gonna be treated like guns. That's kind of the way I see it.
It's going to be highly regulated. They're going to get way much, like they'll make so much more money just on tickets and just like, I'm curious because they're going to be doing like sobriety checks on the road and stuff. Like what kind of new technology are they going to implement to be able to tell if somebody's stoned or not? That's what I don't know.
Apparently they've got a breathalyzer now.
Weed every day.
The brownie temptation test.
Just come up with a bag of snacks.
I've got a jelly in my pocket.
I got snacks.
The checkpoint's a snack run. Yeah, a snack grab. Yeah.
All right, just a couple of little more quotable things here. And
Fritos. Oh my God.
So we're still talking about how they're saying that alcohol and marijuana just as much can cause people to be violent. 2017 paper in social psychiatry and psychiatric epidemiology examined drivers of violence among 6,000 British and Chinese men and found that drug use, so they looked at some British guys and they looked at some Chinese guys, that drug use, the drug nearly always being cannabis, translated into a 5-fold increase in violence. 5-fold. Watch out now.
In Chinese and what men?
6,000 British and then some Chinese men mixed in there. They mixed the Chinese and the British.
But they're not like biracial.
No, I think there's just maybe there's like 2,000 British people and then 4,000 Chinese guys.
I don't think that's significant, study of people.
Okay.
What's the point of the group having a couple of Chinese guys in the mix? Yeah. Here's 6,000. Oh, whatever.
Okay. So he got to talking about some stats about how violence has gone up in all these states that have legalized pot. So in 2017 speech calling for the federal legalization, U.S. Senator Cory Booker said that states that have legalized marijuana are seeing decreases in violent crime. He was wrong. Says here in Colorado and Washington in 2014 and Alaska and Oregon in 2015. So that's when they legalized, right?
Yeah.
Combined, those four states had about 450 murders and 30,300 aggravated assaults in 2013.
How many threes are in that sentence? 33.
30,300. Okay, that was before legalization, and then last year, so it'd be 2018. They had almost 620 murders and 38,000 aggravated assaults, an increase of 37% for murders and 25% for aggravated assaults, far greater than the national increase. And they even accounted for population growth. So don't even try to throw that out there. You want to hear those numbers again? Do you want to hear those numbers again?
No, it's okay.
No, we're good.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
numbers.
Well, but there's one or two. Then he does a little anecdote about a guy named Daniel Lopez who stabbed his brother Thomas to death as neighbors watched in I don't know where this was, Texas or where was this? Colorado. He stabbed his brother. Daniel Lopez had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was self-medicated with marijuana. Watch out now. Cannabis is also associated. Cannabis is also associated. Oh, here I wrote what next to this, and I wrote really ? Cannabis is also associated with a disturbing number of child deaths from abuse and neglect. Many more than alcohol and more than cocaine, methamphetamines, and opioids combined, according to reports from Texas, one of the few states that provide detailed information on drug use by perpetrators. So,
Get high and beat your kid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
so
don't
weird.
know.
That doesn't make any
sense to me.
No, that makes no sense at all.
Get high and watch cartoons with your kid. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense to
exactly.
me.
Yes, let's put some Pokemon on or something.
yeah, that one I couldn't believe that one.
Share a bowl of
again, it's
Cheerios,
just-
you know.
It's just Texas, but it could be just a type of person in Texas that,
Don't mess
and
with Texas, dude.
and they maybe don't do the cocaine and the methamphetamines and the opioids and the alcohol as much as other areas. So then I got to here talking about the elite national media prefers to ignore these crimes as a tabloid fodder. Here's a little quotable thing here. So it says here, now he's getting into like his message. You ready for his message?
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to hear what you guys think of this because I kind of like the wording because it was kind of silly. So he says here, so the black tide of psychosis and the red tide of violence are rising steadily, almost unnoticed, on a slow green wave.
Mhm.
You want to hear that again? You want to hear that again?
I mean, that completely makes sense to me. Yeah.
So the black tide of psychosis and the red tide of violence, he's getting poetic here, are rising steadily, almost unnoticed on a slow green wave.
Man.
The crowd chants and cheers. Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, honestly, that's abusive potheads. I mean,
The green wave, guys, get the green wave is pot.
The green wave is
pot. Man, I just,
green.
I don't.
Have you heard about that green deal? That new green deal?
Yeah, it's
We'll
gonna
talk about
cost
that
like
later.
$7 trillion or something. That's cool. 7 trillion.
Okay. Yeah, and then like I said, his whole message and his plan of action at the end is that it says here, we need equally unambiguous and well-funded advertising campaigns on the risks of cannabis. So he wants people just to be informed about how pot can make you go crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate his concern, but I think it's he's screaming into the void with this one. It's
I
just,
thought
don't
you
buy
guys
it.
would like that.
Yeah, I just don't buy any of it. I mean, I think it's because his sample groups were people who already have psychosis. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe if he grabbed like 100,000 actual potheads and found out how many of them actually suffered from psychosis, that would have been more reasonable. But already grabbing people who have psychosis and then saying, oh, these people were the ones that used weed, and then basing a study off of it, I don't know. I think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, like what you just mentioned, Grim. I think I would be in that first group, not the second group that already that knew the person had it. You know,
Yeah.
like I think I found out I had it after the fact, like because it had a completely different effect in the end of when I smoked for like such a long time, man. I mean, probably 20 years. Yeah, and most people right now, like have been smoking, they haven't stopped. And I'm not advocating, and I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying sometimes it's
Just be responsible.
yeah, man, and like and it became for me it became a dependency. It became Yeah, that psychosis part kicked in, and I was like, if I was way too stoned, yeah, and the potency of it, dude. Because when I first started, it was like a shared thing. It was with a group. It was with my bandmates. It was my friends, and it was hanging at a campfire where good ideas and fun happened, and those doobies were being passed around. It wasn't a big thing. It was dirt weed, And then that whole industry kicked in with like everybody growing like the most amazing things ever. Amazing strands and hey man, check. It all tastes the same to me. It was killer weed, dude, and it just got crazier and crazier. And then Jerry brought up, "Oh, if you're smoking an ounce a week," I was buying like an ounce a week. I was that idiot dude that was like supposedly buying a shit ton of weed and supposedly smoking it all in a week. And it got worse. And it got worse and worse, dude. And my mental, obviously, if you're doing that, your mental state is going to change drastically. Mm-hmm. And it got so bad to where like I could be talking to somebody and inventing a conversation that moment that was completely different than the conversation that I was having. It was tough, dude. That's when I knew like
it's just like every episode of Cruising with State.
Hey, dude. It's a thing and it exists, and some of that study is obviously some of it's partially true, but the violence aspect, never had a violent thought.
No way, never.
It's the ether.
Never.
And
he's kind of maybe like fudging the sampling.
Sure. I mean, there's a slight agenda that guy's pushing. I mean, but like at the same time, you have to be careful, especially these days. And I can imagine a kid starting out now. Oh my Lord.
Potency.
What's the limit after what's going on with the shit now? Oh my God.
Especially with the oils and stuff.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Yeah, you can grab. I mean, dude, I got an email finally from the school about vaping. And I've always thought about that, the whole cigarette thing, but now you're getting the shit about vaping. So, I mean, it's getting intense. Things like that are going to be flying around like crazy now. And if they go legal, it's going to get nuts. Like you said, like we were talking about,
dude,
people
I don't think so.
That have, like me, I've been to doctor. They probably won't let me buy it. Or you might get the card that says you can buy it. It's a weird predicament.
They're gonna be like, "Hey, what's with these pseudonyms? What do you got? Are you James Cruz or are you Brent?"
I'm, like supposedly I'm James Cruz. Supposedly I'm Brett Wisnowski. Supposedly I'm like a bunch of different things. Like
there is no self.
There's no self. There's only I.
Did you guys have quick performance? Like middle
yeah,
thing?
man, jam it out.
Yeah, we're about right halfway. Let's do it, man. I found a ton of other shit we could go over and have some fun with too.
Heck yeah, you did, James.
Oh man, I just went on a tear. I couldn't think of a goddamn thing, and all of a sudden I thought of 20.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Chinese viewing the dark side of the moon. See if
you like that? Yeah, that was kick ass. Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit going on right now.
What, they've never done that before?
They just did it. Remember, dude? They sent up that. Yeah, they're trying to land on there. I think
probing.
What they're trying to do.
Got that.
Oh, there you're talking about Pink Floyd.
Probing.
Pink Floyd.
Were you talking about Pink Floyd?
That's in the article.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my shit's running slow. I have like 10 windows open right now.
You probably got some bootios up in your motherboard.
Yeah, probably got some Dorito dust in your motherboard.
No, I haven't had Doritos in a while. I did buy some Pringles today, but I did buy a lot of more healthier things.
Felix, let's tell the backstory of the Dorito dust in the motherboard. What happened on Twitter?
It was just totally random. I just saw SMQ was talking about his computer freezing up, and I thought I'd say something funny towards him. And I just said, "No, you probably got some Dorito dust in your motherboard."
Oh,
and
Jesus!
I don't know if it like upset him or I
Yeah,
don't
it seemed like
don't
he
think
took it the wrong way. He's like, oh, real original.
Real original.
But then again, you could read all that stuff as like
I know.
Like nacho cheese original or like Cool
Dude,
Ranch?
I was laughing at the whole exchange, so it was good.
And then Jerry had to pop in and like explain that I was just throwing out
Joking.
something random. Someone, I don't usually comment on much, but someone was putting up a video of like Trump and how about his tan, and I go, who cares? It was like a poll about
Yeah.
That whole
whole-
Dorito man thing is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
it
Dude,
was like
it's-
an online poll about like is his orange skin like
Is it fake or is it good
natural
genetics?
genes?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I just
God.
go, oh man, I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of just seeing it. Just
Mhm.
It's the
all-
dumbest thing ever.
That's why we're doing Cruising with Steak and not listening to State of the Union tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, this song's called "As Fate Would Have It." So if you guys want to mute down, I'll do a little
Mutant.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
stylings. This was on an album I made in like 2008, and it's I play it a lot differently than
Oh, an OG.
I recorded it, and so it's called "As Fate Would Have It." It's on Volume 3. I play it differently than I originally recorded it, and there's more to it than that. Let me think. Can you guys hear me? You give me thumb.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot my video down here, and there's something more to that about the song.
Volume
Let's do
3,
that.
is that it's not mixtape. No, that's not mixtape volume.
No, it's just called generic Volume 3.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
that album.
In the beginning, man, I don't know, for some reason I thought there's a line in there. I threw like a little sampling of me saying something like "leather jacket surprise," and I don't even know where that came from. So if you go back and listen to the recording, there's something about leather jacket surprise, and I just thought it was kind of a funny thing to say at the time. So the song's about fate, and it's called "As Fate Would Have It." Here you are. Stop my video. Give me a second to put my harmonica on.
All right, you do your thing, man. Anytime there's a harmonica involved, it's a good day. Well, they can't hear me, but everybody else can.
Give me a thumbs up for guitar. Okay, here we go. As fate would have it, day one it rained cats and dogs. And would you know it's me? And that woe is me. In my poetry, a ghost town, a tumbleweed, a hush. As fate would have it, day two, a drought. And would you share your last drop of water with me, your friend, cliff wall, waterfalls? P.S. I love you, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
As fate would have it, day 3, you'd rise up to the challenge and discover your secret talent. And you save the princess. And you'd rescue the princess. Damsel in distress, you'd save the princess. Woo!
Beautiful, Felix.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
During that performance, I purchased Volume 3, so I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this song at the end of the show.
Leather jacket surprise.
Leather jacket surprises. It's good
Dude,
stuff.
where can people find your stuff?
Just at sirfelix.bandcamp.com. SIRFELIX and .bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
That's where it's at. Bandcamp.
Buy an album. You got like 8 or 9 of them. Come on.
Yeah.
And you could pay whatever you want to pay for them. And then coming soon, I got a real nice little 15, 16, 17, 18 song album coming out
Ooh, nice.
in the future. With all kinds of different, I'm calling a mixtape because all the songs are different.
Fuck.
Very
Cliff
nice.
Wall's got it all happening.
Nice.
But I just keep wanting to add more. I got all these songs from like 3 or 4 years ago that I just don't want them to just disappear. So I'm like putting them together, and it's just taking long.
Man,
So
you should put an album out with all the Grimerica and Cruising with Steak jingles.
Oh man, that'd be great. A little bonus action.
Call it Jingle Mania.
now I was thinking jingles for sale, and
King Jingle. Yeah.
I was thinking of like a little showing somebody at like a little
Jingle
6
for sale. Yeah.
a little 6 foot table with a sign on the front of it that says
That'd be great, dude. Yeah. Oh man. That was awesome. That was a different jam, and I enjoyed it a lot. That was cool.
That's nice.
Did it come through pretty good? A guitar and
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Like, you need to record those sections and then toss them to Grim, and then you can like kind of replace that, because I want to hear like the perfect feed of it, like but
was
then
a
it's not
guitar a
it
little
would
loud?
just it would come in waves through Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, it sounded great, but I mean, I wish I want to hear like the true sound of it though.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's tough to do, man. We can get you an ISDN line, maybe.
I was looking. I just updated the Zoom and
It's like 128K.
An ISDN line.
do you know there's
We're
a
all
little,
gonna get ISDN lines, and we'll just be piped in. Like,
oh that reminds me of this business idea. Just wait a sec. There's that, and then in the preferences, you can like make your appearance look a little bit better. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Zoom. Yeah, I saw it. Polish your appearance. Yeah.
Polish.
Does that just make you look like you got like a glow to
I
you?
don't know.
No, I think all it does, it just smooths out your video. Like it doesn't really do
Oh.
much.
Like glamour shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh, it says touch up my appearance. It
Yeah,
is
dude,
clicked
let's-
on for some reason. Let me click it
Let's
off.
see it. Turn it off.
Oh shit.
oh,
that was
James, you look awful. Turn that back
Oh,
on. This is
what did it
terrible.
do?
Dude, oh my god.
For me, it turned my screen, my shit blue.
Huh.
You're still
Maybe
here,
it's
though.
because of my camera, like the way because
It could be.
Because your boyish good looks.
and
Maybe.
it's because of the sepia tone.
Might be the
So
same.
I'm wondering if that has a thing to do with it.
Oh, I had a business idea. You know how a lot of people don't have like good internet connection? A lot of times when I'm trying to upload stuff to the cloud, it just takes forever.
Mhm.
So I was thinking of a business where, and people probably wouldn't want to do this, but sending off, get a really good, our business would have a really good internet connection and people could send USB sticks to you physically. And you upload the stuff from your location if you got real good internet.
Okay, so you're outsourcing your uploads, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of. Do you ever try to upload like a big video and it just like doesn't?
Dude, I upload the podcast every week. It's like 100 megabytes, but I have an incredibly good upload speed. Like it only
Yeah, I
takes
was
like
gonna say
2 minutes.
it only takes you what, like maybe
Yeah,
a
dude,
half
it's-
hour.
it's up
like
quick.
not
Well,
even a
that's-
half hour.
Well, yeah,
But I'm saying like
that's-
2 gig videos or something. That takes just like a day.
No, dude, that would take me probably 20 minutes, maybe.
What?
Wow.
You must have better internet than we. I
Oh,
do
it's
here.
it's killer. It's killer internet. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but we're the only one on the cable line, so it's like I'm getting all the bandwidth. It's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe it's a bad business idea. But once we get 5G, that they won't need me.
Oh yeah,
5G.
I mean,
5G.
once we get 5G, we'll just send things with our minds. That's the end goal. It's all just gonna be
Oh, dude,
psychokinesis.
It's in the I'm gonna send you shit through the ether. It's gonna be
Heck yeah,
great.
you are. Heck yeah, you
That's
are.
how everything gets sent.
Uh-huh.
Technically, yeah. Supposedly scientifically, we can send shit right now through the ether. I'm connecting to you right now, Jer. I'm sending you some good vibes.
Through the ether.
I started
So-
getting a boner. That's probably why.
I was wondering. I felt this like rush. I didn't know what it was, but apparently it's in your pants.
Ren and I are geeking out over somewhere in my Discord.
Mm.
So
What's
apologies.
he up to?
He's writing some kind of gematria calculator that
Oh yeah.
searches Liberal, something else.
Yeah, it was all- it
magic
all-
books.
From the show last week, he's just been going. Dude, it's.
I was gonna
this.
say, didn't he go like 8
Yeah,
hours
dude,
deep
he's-
on that book? What was it? He was going over
the
something.
The
Yeah,
secret,
like
secret cipher of the Euphonauts. I think it
cipher.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's going
Yeah.
deep in this.
I want to get that book now.
Oh, and also one thing, I think I don't know if it's out yet. I gotta find a link to this, but the Greg and Dana's Hellier video, they did a it might have been the Farsight Institute did a remote viewing of Hellier. I gotta find that because Greg was talking about it. It's going to be coming out soon or something. I don't know if it's out yet. It'd be something you could search on YouTube. Just search remote viewing of Hellier.
Oh yeah, dude, they had a whole gang of
Yeah.
professional remote viewers that remote
Yeah.
viewed stuff for Hellier.
Yeah,
I guess
and
it
he
blew
was
their
like
minds.
tripping out. Like he's like
Yeah.
all fucked up. Like it was so crazy. Yeah, like,
Did you see how Hellier was trending last week?
Mhm.
I hope
It's
so.
better.
Yeah,
I mean, like I saw it like trending in
it was in
Atlanta.
your trending list.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Oh.
that's awesome. Congrats to them, dude. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
dude,
cool,
it's,
man.
That
We get-
episode
yeah.
last week has the most downloads out of the a lot of them, for at least for
I
the
would-
past
I
like
would
4
Goblin.
months.
The Goblin. Yeah,
They hit it.
yeah, green skin.
So now that we're back on our bullshit, we're gonna lose all
Yeah,
those
I mean,
downloads again.
we'll get back at it. We'll get back at it. Yeah. I mean, actually, I went on their on Greg and Dana's website, the Week in Weird,
hmm
everyone can check that out. Weekandweird.com. Greg and Dan and Newkirk, the ones that produced Hellier. But they have a pretty cool site, and they also do that what is it, the haunted museum, basically.
Museum of unusual shit.
Yeah. Well, you know that they're on the History Channel. There's that whole Project Blue Book show.
Yeah, man.
And and I've watched. What's up?
I was thinking you said weekend weird, but it's weekend.
It's weekend weird. WEEKINWEIRD, and that's exactly how you spell it.
Thanks, James.
So everyone check that out. But so History, they're running the Project Blue Book, which is Dr. J. Allen Hynek's work of the old cases, the old Project Blue Book thing, and it's pretty cool. I like to dive in more and actually see what's partly true and mostly made up. I heard a lot of it's like fucked up and made up, but like I think the story, like the sightings were real, and then they elaborated on the storyline aspect of it all, but which is pretty cool because they mix it. I mean, there is a whole storyline. You got to watch the show. The guy's wife's involved. I don't know. I mean, there might be a backstory to even his family in what happened to all them going through all this. But they on their site, they had this pretty cool link. It was just like, these they did these press kits, and they sent out like to media, to you get these grab bags. It's kind of like the Oscar you get these awesome grab bags. Well, they had this really cool like case, like a old style, like a duffel case that like somebody would carry around, and it had all this cool shit from the show, but it's all like Hynek stuff. It's just notes and little graphs, like newspaper articles, clipping. I mean, just a lot of cool stuff. And they had all the discs from the series to view. But it just a really cool grab bag. It'd be so badass to have something like that. I mean,
if they go big with this Hellier thing, they can maybe sell like some like goblin slime.
I don't think they slimed. You could maybe. Well, I think shout out to that guy. I want to say, shout out to him and Talamh. Just our regular, just awesome people in our chats. But that guy was talking about doing a 3D print of the footprint. I think it was last week or something. But like trying to get a way to print that would be pretty cool. This like 3-pronged footprint thing.
You could take the face, the alien face, and make edibles that are shaped like that.
Out of weed?
Gummy bears?
Yeah, edibles. Like brownies or whatever they make.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like Hellier.
I don't want to get
Hellier stoned. That was called.
Hellier, man. Yeah.
Like
if you eat 2 of these, your mom's going to say Hellier stoned.
I don't know. Any of you guys watch any of the Hellier stuff yet? Or, the Project Blue Book on History?
Oh, no, I haven't watched Project Blue Book yet. No.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched them all so far. It's really cool. They got a lot of pretty famous people doing pseudo fan. You've seen them around in shows and stuff. But
why are they pushing the ET agenda so much? What's going on? I don't know.
I don't
Everything
know.
else is boring.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a good like wintertime like thing to watch. I don't know. Maybe it's they find interest in Hynek's work, and maybe they wanted to promote something like that. I mean, History does what they do Ancient Aliens, right? So is that?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, they started it off with Ancient Aliens. It's like that whole.
Yeah.
There's been that shift since Ancient Aliens came out.
Yeah,
we've just been constantly pushing it. Maybe it's just because it sells, its numbers. That could be.
It's probably got good interest, I would imagine. I mean, the way that they have shot this, it feels like X-Files ish. Like it's really cool. Like the imagery is really cool. They go over they go over these cases.
So
I mean,
it's like a dramatized show. It's not like it's
for
not a
sure
documentary
it's
style. Or
drama mixed in with these events that happen. You know, like they go to the Flatwoods Monster in West Virginia, dude. You know, like
really.
I mean, yeah, they go from that to like mixing in storyline of the Men in Black. They're mixed in with this. They're like this shadow shit that's going on, along with Hynek and him being linked with
who plays
dude from the Air Force.
Who plays JL and Hynek?
What's that?
Who plays Hynek?
Who plays him? Oh yeah,
in the show. Because I heard that who is it? Littlefinger from Game of Thrones is in that show. So
that's him. He's
okay.
he's Hynek.
He plays Hynek. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that might be good then. I like him in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude. He does a great job. I mean, all these dudes are doing a good job.
Right.
But yeah, and there's a lot of there's some symbology. There's these symbols that he's trying to figure out that he. I don't know. You have to watch it. It's really cool. And then they have the case aspects of the strange phenomena that happen. Like, what's this ball like? It's swamp. The government wants you to say swamp gas.
Did they bring the swamp gas meme into it?
Oh, totally, dude.
That's awesome.
Because they go into these towns and Hynek's all about trying to find the truth, of what really happened. Because he's so scientific. He's like, there's got to be a way. It's awesome. It's a really cool show. But there is some drama line mixed in, with his family, and they also in that time frame they were kind of into the Cold War. So buy a bunker. It was like buying a fucking shed to put in your backyard. It was some crazy stuff, dude. It was some different crazy little storylines going on with it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Jerry, you said you had a show you were binging now. What was it?
I found out. I just found out there was a version of Constantine they made into a TV show in 2014.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Was that on CW?
No, it was on NBC.
Was that 2 years after the year that we died?
Yeah, it was 2 years after we died.
So it's a pretty interesting show. It's got all the awesome magic shit and.
I keep meaning to watch that, the Keanu Reeves one again, man. That was really kick ass. I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah, and the original Constantine comics, where that movie came from, and this TV show, and there's actually animated versions too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an animated version somewhere, and I gotta watch that.
Sure, it wasn't. Yeah, I know where you saw it too.
Yeah,
It's good. City of Demons. It's called.
Right.
Alan Moore created that character for DC, if I remember correctly.
Oh, for DC, yeah, he's a DC thing, right?
And it's another one that he has disowned because of what's gone on with it, like he's done to Watchmen.
Wow. Oh, okay. They just put that on Netflix too.
Yeah, the uncut, the director's cut. That's a good one.
Yeah,
dude, I heard that they're making
it's a good movie.
Are they still making that Watchmen TV series for HBO?
Yep.
Yeah, that should be pretty good.
No,
as long as they do it right. I think they could do it right. Yeah. I mean,
when's Game of Thrones come back on?
April. It's in April.
Oh man, it's
dude, right around the corner. Yeah. Oh, speaking of right around the corner, you and Jer Bear got birthdays coming up. Woo!
Oh yeah,
I got birthday too.
You do, Felix. What is yours?
What's yours? 11th.
Oh my god, this is a crazy month, dude.
I'm gonna be 1 year closer to get my AARP card.
Nice.
Are you all this month, you guys?
My wife just had a birthday.
Grimsteak's July.
Yeah, I'm July. Thanks. You remember?
Yeah,
so February 11th is my daughter's birthday.
My kids are June and July. Yeah.
Felix. Is anyone on the 16th?
Say again.
February 11th is my youngest daughter's birthday.
16th? No, I don't. None of us are the 16th. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is that your birthday?
No.
I was gonna fucking die.
6.
6. Yeah. No.
That's my number. I'm 220. 0220. I'm a palindrome.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Not weird, but interesting. Yeah.
Can I tell you guys about my golden birthday when I was 11?
Yeah, sure, man.
Golden shower birthday.
No, so when I was 11, I think I was I'm pretty sure my parents probably got me a present, but then I just wanted more. So I was like, Mom, Dad, let's go to the store and buy me some more presents. And I finally like coerced them, and then we drove off, and they ended up getting pulled over for speeding, supposedly. Supposedly they were speeding. Pretty sure right after that we just turned around and went back home, and it was the worst golden birthday ever. And
was that the first time you ever heard your dad throw out an F-bomb?
I don't remember the details, but I think they went and fought it because there was something with the speed limit sign and how it came after a bridge or something or other.
Did they win?
I think they had to pay it, but
yeah, man, I've never seen anybody fight a speeding ticket.
No way.
Yeah. I think they went just because it's just like the placement of it and where.
Well, and if you go, I think it takes it's one of those things where I know in Indiana, like you could either pay your ticket full price or you can go and like appeal it at the court and they'll knock it down a little bit. Like you won't have to pay as much, but yeah, dude, most of the time it's such a hassle, so you just pay the full price anyway. I haven't had a ticket in like 12 years though. Knock on wood. Got to talk to them spirits.
Totally.
Get those spirits out of there.
Squeeze them out.
The spirits out. Squeeze them out.
But yeah, so I was shameful. I was full of shame that day.
Pinch one off.
Yeah.
Golden birthday.
Golden birthdays. I don't remember my golden birthday. I was 15.
What makes it golden if his was 11?
I don't understand that. Yeah, what's a golden birthday?
I was 11 years old on the 11th.
Yeah, on the 11th. I was 15 on the 15th. That's your golden birthday.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
I was 4.
Oh, so 25 and 25. 20. Yeah.
Oh, James, I'm sure you were all kinds of fucked up.
Weren't you dressing up as like
I have no idea what I did when I was 20.
Sailor Moon cosplay?
See, around my birthday, 25.
I can barely remember last week.
Dude, that's my problem. It's a short-term memory, and then it's slowly turning into long-term memory loss too.
I thought I was living in Groundhog Day on Groundhog Day this week because I got up and I'm like, this is exactly the same as yesterday and the day before. Yeah.
You just turning wood?
Just turning wood all day.
No, I haven't done any wood turning in a while.
Oh, that's probably why then. So what happened? Are we gonna have a spring soon?
No,
Late?
dude. Are you talking about Punk's Tiny Phil or whatever? Yeah. The groundhog?
We don't pay attention to that magical ritual.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he didn't see his shadow, so that means spring's coming early this year. Because that's how it works. It's science.
Weird. I don't know. I have to look into that. But the golden birthday thing. Oh man.
James, have you ever find that picture of you dressed up as Neo?
Not yet, dude. I have it though. I have a few of them.
That.
You got to find that.
I'll show you, dude.
That's cover art.
It's pretty spot on. It's pretty badass.
That's totally episode art.
I rented the trench coat and everything, dude. It was kick ass.
We made a Spanish video in high school, and we had a scene where everyone froze, and I think someone threw something, and we stopped it in midair with like a fishing wire. And
no way.
We rotated the camera around. I don't know if someone threw like a burrito or if someone threw like a tape ball or like a tape ball, and then like it froze in the middle of the air, and then like we did like a camera pan, just like
going around. Dude, that movie was so epic when it came out. I mean, at least for visually, that was a game changer, dude. Like,
dude, there's either thunder outside right now, or there was just a loud explosion somewhere. I don't know what's going on.
It's a frostquake.
Dude, it could be mystery booms.
It's those. No, never mind. You remember the trumpet sounds that everyone was hearing?
Oh yeah.
Winter.
Yeah, dude, they were hearing all those the horns in the sky, the trumpets in the sky. Those were good YouTube. That's when like I feel the conspiracy YouTube videos, at least for me, were taking off. Like that stuff was big. There was other things. Like what else was it? Jade Helm was starting to ramp up. Like that was when I was getting into the whole internet conspiracy. Jade,
oh man.
Was that 2014 or 15, 14 maybe? 15? I don't know.
I remember being in I was super paranoid probably like 2012. And I was in New York
Of course, it
And
was
I'm-
2012.
New York
Yeah.
City? New York
New York
City or
City.
New York State?
Manhattan.
Okay. Manhattan?
Manhattan.
Oh, okay. High roller.
And I remember seeing a bus with an advertisement on it. It was probably for like Game of Thrones or something. And it said like war is coming. And all I could think in my head is that it wasn't just like an advertisement for a show. I thought it was like
Subliminal
both.
messaging into the universe.
Yeah.
Winter.
Well, dude, how about speaking of
War.
wars coming? How about what's going on right now? We're having our pivot from the Middle East down to back to South America. It's like back in the old Bush 1 days, you know, going back to South America. taking it
Going
over.
back.
Give me, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
it's FUBAR
It is. It really is FUBAR.
and Snafu, all those.
Uh huh.
It's snafu.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like there's so much going on right now. It's like the Middle East. I feel we're kind of getting out of there. They're gonna leave it to Saudi Arabia and Israel and whatever.
Just
You guys take
leave
care
that
of it.
shit all blown up.
Whatever you think's going on is not happening.
Exactly. That's another thing. It's like, what the hell?
We
It already
can't trust the
happened. It was
information we're
long
given.
gone.
It's all jaded.
I wanted to bring up a factoid, an ancient factoid. It's kind of from the Middle East, I think, and like Sumerians. And there's some weird ritual where the king of this area, it probably was somewhere around Syria or something, but the king every year would go to like this holy place and talk to the priest and would tell the priest if he did anything bad all year. And he'd say, I didn't do anything bad all year. And the priest would slap the king in the face. And if the king cried and showed tears, then he was telling the truth.
Oh, okay.
And then the priest would allow the king to be a king for another year. You ever hear that?
Interesting.
Oh, never heard that at all. It's a little fun fact.
Little factoid from history.
Factoid true.
Yeah. Hey, Watcher, did you have any kind of fun, cool stuff you wanted to talk about tonight before we just keep going? I mean, I don't know if you brought.
Have you
anything.
guys ever done the flotation tank stuff?
Never?
Damn it, I want to do.
Dude, I
There's one
just-
right down the
Yeah, I
road.
just found out there's one
Yeah.
by me too.
Oh,
We're gonna
sweet.
do this. We got to do this. Yeah.
What's
My girlfriend works at one, so I've
Oh,
got free time. Anytime I want to go, I can go for free.
So have you done it
That's
yet?
awesome.
Breathing in it last time. I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
They have a infrared sauna that I go to all the time there.
What is
But
that?
We should all. Oh, an infrared sauna is amazing, man.
Never heard of that yet.
It's just infrared waves, so it heats you up, and you basically sweat your ass off. You just start dripping, man.
So it's like
But it
being
feels
under like
so
a heating
good.
lamp, like a huge
Sort
heating
of
lamp.
like being under a heating lamp, except it's full spectrum. So you got like a bunch of different frequencies, and not just the infrared that comes off an infrared light. But the flotation stuff, we should all do it, and then talk about our experiences.
Let's set a date. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. And there's a bunch of cool stuff about it, but we can get into that in another one.
No doubt.
So
Because-
did this kind of inspire you to do your sound bath type thing, like just the whole?
When I was younger, I built one of these flotation tank because I was really into
Sensory.
John C. Lily's shit, and
Yeah, that'll do it.
had this book on how to build a sensory
No shit.
deprivation tank. And so I
Nice.
built it out of plywood and like some that foam, that expanding foam, and some poly, and then just put a ton of salt in. And it sort of worked for a little while, but it was too tight, and didn't work as well. So
I don't know
But,
where.
go
I
ahead.
don't know. You can go ahead if you want to finish.
oh no, you go. I was pretty much done.
I don't know if I saw it in a movie or some documentary on sensory deprivation, but I don't know. Some people set up these like sensory deprivation areas under like grass on like the side of hills. They'll like dig into them and just lay, grass over the top, and they'll just like lay in the dirt.
I've done that in the sand on the beach. Have people bury you?
Oh, dude, that's great.
It's actually
Getting buried in
fun.
the sand, man. Well, I mean, it's
But
interesting. It's like when you do go through one of those sensory deprivation things, it's like it has to enhance other sorts of senses somewhere. I don't know. I'm curious.
But
Yeah,
you
me
gotta
too.
have to have good manners. You got to make sure to kind of wipe your butt take a shower. Beforehand.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be all
Have
gross
showers
skinned in that.
Yeah, you gotta shower beforehand.
Shower beforehand.
Yeah.
It's mandatory.
You should. Yeah. But they tell you to.
Yeah.
Some people might not. Who knows?
Oh, I'm
What
sure.
if you got like a foot fungus or like a
It's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in there.
Yeah,
Or
that's gonna
1400
get rid of anything, any kind of butt juice
Yeah.
that's floating around.
And
I
then
would
they-
imagine.
They
That's
recycle 'em
nasty.
each time, so it goes through a filter and then it pumps it back in.
Right on.
An ozone filtration.
Then I also read that if you like crap the pond, it's like $500.
Oh, you get fined if
to
you
get
shit in
that
there,
fixed.
dude. I
Yeah.
think the only way I'd want to do it though is if I have like some good edibles or something. Like I don't know if I'd want to go in sober.
What?
Try holotropic breathing.
Do it sober. Come on now.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of
We
things.
should all do well.
I haven't
Take
done
mushrooms.
much.
We all
in my
do
adult
like the
life
same
sober.
technique.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, like yeah,
Wait, we all pump.
how are we all gonna get mushrooms? That's ridiculous.
No, we all pump.
How about we just do the same meditation before you go in or something?
No, no,
mantra?
we all pump iron, like a 20-pound weight with one arm, just one arm,
Okay.
and then go. What the fuck? And that'll be our experience. We'll all have that one arm. That's like,
One arm all jacked
That
up.
real strong
up.
arm. Okay.
Watcher, do they have? Do they offer like free coffee or tea at this?
Oh yeah, they got tea. Yeah, free tea,
Nice.
free water. You could. Yeah, I don't know if they have coffee.
Salty pretzels.
Salty pretzel. Yeah.
Just getting crumbs
Just dip them
everywhere.
in the water. They're regular pretzels, but
I'm gonna.
Seaweed, algae chips.
yeah.
Jesus. Oh man.
Have you guys seen Altered
And
States?
boom goes the dynamite.
Altered States? I have
Yeah,
not.
that-
I was going to bring that up when you said you built your own tank. I thought he watched Altered States.
I did totally.
Yeah, me
wait.
too.
Oh wait. No. There
Back
was.
in
It's the
the
famous Ken Russell film.
80. No, yeah, 89. Yeah, it's Ken Russell. Yeah,
There's this.
it's based on
Netflix.
John C.
There's a Netflix show. It's one of those like international ones. This chick, her dad or something, just lives in the backyard in one of those tanks. He never comes out of it. It's like the weirdest thing.
Oh, I saw that. It's
Yeah,
a girl. It's
yeah,
a,
that girl that she does the internet or the VR shit, right?
it's like Kiss Me First or something.
Kiss
like
Me
that.
First. Yeah. Her dad, it looks just like a little mini sub. And it's just like chilling in the backyard, like with overgrown weeds and shit.
But
Dude,
it's a
never
VR
comes out of it.
tank.
It's
It's a VR sensory deprivation tank.
Wow. Now that's
Because everyone lives in VR. It's a Ready Player One thing. It's just
Yep.
oh, I can't wait.
Is it a comedy, a dystop drama, or what?
I couldn't get into it.
It's not dystopian or anything. It's not a comedy. It's like it's a mystery murder serial killer going around. It's weird because when you plug into this type of VR system, it's all sensory linked, and if you, it's almost like the Matrix. If you die in the Matrix, you die in like real life, and there's actually a person going around killing people. So it's like a serial killer type thing in VR. It's messed up, dude. It's usually an awesome series. Kiss Me First on Netflix.
It's usually the first person you see in the episode. In the first episode,
Man, you just don't ruin it for people.
Mhm.
I heard that
Sword Art Online
Netflix canceled The Travelers.
Ah,
Yeah.
it was just. I mean, that was a cool show.
The director
Dude.
canceled it.
Oh
is that what
man,
happened?
I'm watching
What?
Counterpart.
did he go in his like Google Calendar and write just like cancel and then hit
Counterpart's good, isn't it?
cancel?
Oh man, the second season's it's so crazy, dude. It's so good. Yeah,
And still, you don't know if it's
I know.
real. Yeah.
Any of it. Yeah, it's
It's
so
just-
messed up.
It's like Fringe, too. You know, it's like
Fringe, yeah, Fringe, yeah, exactly. I think I'm on episode 7, season 2 right now.
What is that called? Dingleberries?
Counterpart.
Counterpart.
Oh,
It's a Stars show. It's on
Yeah.
Stars, and so if you guys got that, check that out.
Strange Angel should be coming back pretty soon, too.
Strange Angel, which was
Jack Parsons.
Jack Parsons. Yeah, that was
Did you guys
awesome.
see the first season?
Yep. Yeah.
Good. Any good? Was it pretty true to the story?
I don't.
You don't do books?
Jerry would know a little bit more. I mean, I obviously it's another. It's almost reminds me of this. The Project Blue Book. It's such a good, cool little storyline mixed in with factoids of Parsons. You know, like, but what really happened? You know, I don't know. That's the tough part.
What was the question?
You have to know everything about it to like pick and choose and tear it apart. You know,
right.
If he was asking if it followed along with Jack Parsons, you know, like his whole storyline.
Well, it's based on the book Strange Angel by what's his face? George. I forgot his last name. But that book has come, you know, it's said that there's inaccuracies in that, or he took liberties with such and such, you know, with stories. So if the source material was an embellishment,
Right.
the TV show is an embellishment of an embellishment. So, and that's what the criticism that I've heard. I like the show. I don't like the fact that they changed the names of his wife and shit, because in my head I know, well, that's not his wife's name, etc. And they've introduced this character. God, I can't remember his name now.
His buddy that he always gets in fights with and shit.
Yeah, the guy next door.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting.
I forget how he got into his local OTO.
Yeah, he's the guy who got him into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they changed his partner's name. His partner's real name was Foreman.
George Pendle.
They might have not had clearance to release those names, you know? Like
No, it's public knowledge.
yeah, but like can't they say they don't want their name like in
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that because remember when we were watching
Collier.
No, not even when we went to Crypticon and the Fire in the Sky.
Travis Walton.
Travis Walton's story, like there was dudes that were involved in that didn't want their names in it and shit.
That's because they were scared.
Fuck yeah, they were.
I don't want them aliens coming.
I ain't scared. Man, I have a few more things, but I mean, we're kind of at the end here for tonight, but
yeah, I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, I know, man. I was gonna go and I found some really cool biohacking shit.
We can table them for the next show.
No doubt, yeah. I mean, and
I also reached out to.
I contacted SMQ. He wants to hang out. We're gonna have to do it on a weekend, so we might have a little surprise show.
That's the same with. I talked to Brandon and Brandon Young.
Man, yeah, cool.
And I told him I was like, you know, we do the show on Tuesdays. I was like, but if you want something a little more intimate,
I was telling SMQ that he did real good on THC. That was like one of the better.
I got to listen to that.
It was a good show.
Told me he
was real good.
There. Yeah,
he's like real like well spoken. It seems like he's kind of really rounded out his.
He convinced me that it's possible.
Yeah, he got into. There's some other things that I what was it? He mentioned
the Ed McMahon and the check.
Yeah, he was mentioning that one, but then there was just some other aspects to the. Oh yeah, just how like we all died, and this is our in 2012 we all died, and then the life we're all living right now is like our collective.
Yeah,
and like or how we're dealing with that death, and
it's like the life review.
Yeah, but
I
it's
almost want to do a consciousness segment like every show now.
We should.
I think that's where it's all like at least where almost all of us are at this point, and I just pick and choose different parts of like different things we can go into with consciousness and make a jingle.
Jerry, you remember what year Philip K. Dick thought the world ended? 74? I can't remember.
I don't know.
He really?
But speaking of Philip K. Dick, 2019, this year now, is the year that the story of Blade Runner is set in, the original Blade Runner.
Right.
It's set in the future Los Angeles 2019.
Pretty interesting.
Also,
we still don't have flying cars.
I think 1984, how does it work?
It was like 12,000 days.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
It was not published. It was from 84 to now is the same amount as like from 84 to when it was published.
Well, right on, guys.
19. Oh no, sorry.
No, not right on.
We should all type really loud in the.
No. When did Philip K. Dick? Where did he say that the world was going to end?
I'll look.
I think he was on the putting green. He was on like the
19th hole.
He said
with L. Ron Hubbard. Oh, in time loop.
That it ended and then they looped it back. So yeah, I'll have to look for it.
I'm like magnetic.
So we should do a show next week. We should do a show about the yugas and cycles.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Ooh, I like
and
it.
talk about
Interesting. Some
how
homework.
2012 fed into that and what are they called?
I'd be down for that for sure.
The Mayan calendar. All that.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Man.
We could get Smokey on too.
But like I said, we'll have to do it on like Saturday night or something, like something like that.
We'll do a special broadcast with him.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we could do. We can jump on the.
Dude, just set it, and we just.
Yeah, I talked to him. I told him I'll just get back with him and everything about what.
Who's this Trimalchio guy?
I don't know, but he digs the show. He came from OBDM, I think, or
cool.
I don't know. I've seen him around. He's around the Discord.
Greetings.
Yes,
I know a lot. I know a lot about the Mayans because when I was 14, I decided to be an archaeologist and spent like 2 summers in the Yucatan.
Oh, man,
awesome.
Oh,
I'm anal like that. Anal is good.
Guatemala for a while.
Jarmelkia, if you ain't scared, you can come hang, dude. Yeah, be our guest. Come on.
Be our guest.
Yeah, exactly. Just start playing that.
Jerry, watch out for those.
Ryan Peverly.
Peverly's dope. Yeah.
Peverly.
He's going to be on Nox Mente in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Oh, and tomorrow night we have Geraldine Orozco.
Very
he
nice.
went from Peverly to SMQ to us and then OBDM. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the tangle webs we weave.
It is, man.
Yeah,
Bring it.
do,
That's
man.
what we do here,
shout
man.
out to all those guys. OBDM, Cat in the Box, Grimerica,
everybody.
Freaking Occulture.
We're the hub. We're the hub for all podcasts.
That's
Come
crazy.
hang out.
You're saying that those Hellier guys were on Mysterious Universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was on your show?
Yeah, he popped,
show?
Yeah, then he
Our
popped
show?
into this show. Yeah.
And he's going to be on my show in March.
Yep. There you go.
That's
Jerry
crazy.
booked him. Yeah, we're gonna get Greg and Dana on at some point. We gotta reach.
Yeah, we'll get it. That was cool, man. That was such a cool opportunity, and the way it worked out. Like I'm just chatting with him on freaking Twitter, and I'm like, "Get in here," and he's like, "Okay."
You should try to get Ben and
Oh
Aaron
man,
from Mysterious
me
Universe
and
on.
Watcher's cats. They look the same, and they both popped up.
No
Oh,
way.
that's crazy.
Dude, that's a counterpart. That's a counterpart scene right there.
Those cats are quantum entangled.
Yep.
And they just pass some kind of message between each other when they.
I was gonna just
both
say
popped
that
up at the webcams. Weird.
Yeah, that is crazy.
One of the coolest scenes I just saw in Counterpart. There's a threshold where you cross paths, and they have the scene where this whole thing went down. But anyway, dude, this dude drops a flashlight, and himself drops a flashlight on the other side, and the flashlights like roll right by. It's the craziest scene, dude. It's so cool. That's that.
Thanks for spoiling that.
No, that's one scene, dude. That's nothing.
Did you write about it? Did you write about it?
You have to see this shit. It's so cool.
I did not write about it.
Did you write about it in your diary?
I don't keep a diary.
I don't have a diary, but I need to do some stuff. I
do some diarying.
I write with my hand so little that I can't really write for more than 2 sentences before my hand cramps
Just
up.
cramps up. Yeah.
Is that the
like a grandpa
thing?
That just makes me more psychic.
Oh, shit.
And that's the show, folks.
Yes,
Tune
thanks
in
for
next
listening.
week.
Good night, everybody.
More insanity.
Yes. Good night. Have a great night. Cruisingwithsteak.com/donate. Think about it.
Yeah, check out the memes channel and Discord.
Later, baiters.
Yeah. So long, guys. Goodbye.
Surprise. And as fate would have it, they wanted bring cats and dogs. And would you know it's me? And that woe is me in my poetry. Would you share your last drop of water with me, your friend, Filio? So cool. P.S. I love you, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And as fate would have it, day 3, you rise to the challenge and discover your secret talent. And you save the princess. And you rescue the princess. Damsel in distress. You save the princess.